Which is more offensive, Cousins making that or Brian Kelly gets $58 million to go away?
So what is the actual number? Is it 53, 54, or 58? I've heard it argued about, but this is the second time this season. I asked the question when James Franklin was fired. I said, how many coaches can be fired in college football, and it will break into your Sunday afternoon professional NFL viewing, the news. And Brian Kelly is another one now that when those people started meeting, the important decision makers at LSU, he's 34-14 at LSU. I don't know what LSU expected to be, but 34-14 is unacceptable to them because they've lost 3 of their last 4 games in the SEC. And the last one that you were at and Lucy was at was particularly embarrassing because now Mike Elko is better than you, comes into your house with a 7-0 team, and he's now 8-0. He empties your stadium at night when Death Valley is supposed to be scary at night, and it's empty late in that game because everyone has left.
They were so overwhelmed the whole game. Like, even at halftime when LSU was ahead 18-14, 11 points came directly from mistakes from Texas A&M. Like, A&M dominated the first half as well. The score wasn't indicative. And then the second half was super embarrassing. And like usual in this spot, you get the Brian Kelly clips where it's everyone else's fault. He's yelling at everyone else. There's this one clip where after a big punt return by Texas A&M, Brian Kelly, you can read his lips. He tells the special teams coach, this is going to cost you your effing job. Can you imagine your coach tells you that during the game? This is going to cost you your effing job. Like, how does that help anyone in the middle of the game to threaten another coach with his job?
So Brian Kelly gets let go, and I think I'm still allowed to be surprised by that midseason. Am I not? I even with what I thought was a $53 million buyout, I don't know if it's 53 or 58 million, but now to make him go away when you stole him from Notre Dame, like that was a sound heard around sports. Notre Dame just got its coach stolen.
It came out of nowhere, right? Like it was a shocker.
By an SEC team that is telling you, it's announcing to the world, we're serious about football. And 4 years later,
because people weren't clear on that before.
After 4 years and going 34-14, the standard at LSU is, nope, we win championships with Ed Orgeron. We win championships with Les Miles. We're the school that started Nick Saban. 34-14 is not good enough.
Yeah. Yeah, all 3 of the previous coaches that you mentioned all won national championships. And Brian Kelly can never beat the good teams. So, yeah, like 34-14, okay, but that's not the standard of that school.
Yeah, I mean, there is perspective. Like, wait, what are we doing to a coach that wins you 10 games basically every year? But this felt like a bad fit from the jump. This was odd. It was a strange hiring. He has that weird appearance at the basketball game where he talks about his family. And it's just weird vibes the entire time. Angry, no accountability, always someone else's fault. Now, that has always been Brian Kelly, but success usually follows him, and this wasn't the level of success that they had there. And credit to LSU for realizing there is no evidence here that he is the guy to turn it around. And if you're one of these other schools that's kind of like, what do we do? A Wisconsin or an FSU? It's like, are we in or are we out? You guys are seeing you're like the 7th, 8th best jobs available now.
Well, I do wonder for schools like that, you mentioned Wisconsin, you mentioned FSU. With all these other schools with the job openings, Penn State, Florida, LSU now.
It's crazy.
I wonder, though, if those schools like, yeah, we don't like our coach, but this is not the year to fire him because there are other jobs that are going to come before. Like, FSU may have to keep Norvell. Wisconsin may have to keep Luke Fickell, even if they don't want, because, yeah, we're not going to be able to get anyone this year.
Let's close the Brian Kelly file then at Notre Dame, at LSU, because all I remember is the funny things, the awkward things, the things that were a note off. So let's first play the sound that Mike Ryan just mentioned about him showing up in LSU all of a sudden with a Cajun accent.
It's a great night to be a Tiger. I'm here with my family, and we are so excited to be in the great state of Louisiana, but more importantly, to be with you great fans.
What a fraud.
My family. It's a great night to be a Tiger.
But the fact that he's a fraud doesn't dismiss the fact that the impatience in college football right now is absolutely ridiculous. The buyout total of coaches prematurely fired is over $200 million now, over $200 million and rising. I think it's bad for the sport. I think it's ridiculous. Have a little patience. I mean, you got a guy who's got a career, great record. Give him a chance.
Did you hear Nick Saban and Kirk Herbstreit go on about this at College Game Day?
Well,
Now, it was actually Saban did the predictable thing, but he did provide a little bit of color. They debated whether or not these boosters that give so much money to these programs should have so much influence on the direction of the programs, and maybe some of these guys are firing coaches a little too soon. Yes, they should. It's like an owner in the pros. This is a pro sport. The people
who have the money
that are helping you get the kids have influence. That's how it works. If you don't like it, go somewhere else.
So the person who pays for everything have a say.
Yeah, I love how coaches and legacy media people in college football are like, wait a second, that's going too far. What? Money has power? Let me clutch my pearls. What?
Just take a look at the White House. Wait a second, what?
Why is it bad for the sport, Greg?
It's just there's an upheaval in the sport right now that just doesn't seem fair to me. I don't mind coaching changes in mid-season, but does your coach deserve it?
Well, which one of these firings, these high-profile firings, do you think were unfair?
I think Penn State fired Franklin prematurely.
It's pretty long resume of not being able to win a big game.
He was in the championship game last year.
Well, pretty soon.
No.
Like there were like 4 years of conversations. Is it time to get rid of James Franklin? Like they
Greg,
showed astonishing patience.
He was there for 10 years.
What is when I say one of the most amazing stats in sports is that the Pittsburgh Steelers have only had 3 coaches. What is the average lifespan? I don't know the answer to the question I'm asking, but the average lifespan for an NFL coach, because what this is merely the professionalization of this sport. I don't think it's bad for this sport for it to go professional. I think college football was more interesting this weekend and many weekends than pro football is. College football has done nothing but grow. The things that happen around college football have been very good for college football. Now, it's not good for amateurism or the illusion of amateurism, but we've buried that day. It's professional sports now,
right.
And these coaches are being treated like NFL coaches, most of whom I would guess don't get 4 years. Now, in the pros, though, 34-14 doesn't get you fired.
No, you're like the best.
Oh, of course, right.
Between 3.5 and 4 years appears to be the average of an NFL head.
Yeah,
69 games.
And
Nice.
now, by the way, Mike Tomlin's under a little bit of pressure in Pittsburgh. So no coach is immune from this. But I think it's accelerated and exaggerated in college football. And I look at it from a personal standpoint. Did James Franklin deserve to be fired? Now, you can argue yes.
Yes.
You might be in the majority, but I would argue no. I think when you did what he did last season, overall a very good year, and you're a few games into the next season and you're already pulling the trigger on getting rid of this guy, I think that's premature.
Well, I mean, what hurt James Franklin, you're right that he did win playoff games last year. He won 2 playoff games, matter of fact. But those 2 playoff games that they won, what hurt him was SMU and it was Boise State. Like if you're playing if at least one of those once you get to Power 4, I understand SMU's Power 4, okay, so you get what I'm saying. But if one of them were a higher profile team, maybe the conversation's a little bit different.
Well, he's playing who he's scheduled to play.
Well,
What's he gonna do?
but it's not. I would do this math. Put this on the poll as well, Juju, at Le Batard Show. Does it matter more that you lost to Northwestern than it does that you won 2 playoff games against SMU and Boise State?
I think it does.
Well, clearly it did to Penn State, because what got him fired was the last loss. I mean, it was cumulative. But what's happened to both these coaches, just so that you understand, I know James Franklin's record was, I'm losing it now, it was something like 34-8 or something. But it's the last 3 of 4 that get you gone. Like, it's not anything that happened before that. It's what made it the 14 at Brian Kelly's number, because he lost 3 of the last 4 that he's lost, and they're like, okay, let's speed this up. But it's still shocking. Like, I'm not yet at a place where I'm so immune to the professionalization of college sports that I'm not shocked. That video, it feels like that was a couple of weeks ago, the video that we just showed of him. That doesn't feel like it was 4 years ago that he was being introduced at LSU.